Greetings ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the survival of Vinland. Here I'm playing Victoria 2 and using the mod known as Divergences of Darkness. And from the outset that may sound trivial, but unfortunately there is a bit more than meets the eye in this regard. Vinland starts with a fairly small population. It's spread out over a very large portion of land, and that has few soldiers and small army. To make it even worse, the two nearby nations of Plantagenet and Belgian Confederacy both hold cores over your land and are very eager to declare war at the start of the game. So without spending too much time here on the menu, let's just click play and load into the game. Last time I loaded in, something like this happened. Plantagenet declares war upon loading in, not even a day after, but upon loading in, Plantagenet declares war, and if you're unlucky, Belgian Confederacy will join in fairly quickly. At the start of the game you have, 21,000 men, all of them in regulars. Apart from these, so you are infantry, so half infantry, half regulars, and one artillery. And since this is the Divergences of Darkness mod, artillery is incredibly slow, and you have the ability to make mobile artillery, which is probably what we will need to do. So first of all, we need to reform the army. We will remove the... Why is this not possible? There we go. Now it is possible. Remove the artillery that we had already. Might as well turn these into protectorates, because we have no reason not to at this point. There we go. And if we take a look here, for example, diplomatic map mode, we hold cores on the area here that is not populated by anyone, near the Ronst. We also hold cores on the Belgian Confederacy. The Belgian Confederacy in turn hold cores on Plantagenet and us, and it's a fairly big territory as well. And this is unfortunately our most populous territory, as it is in, I suppose, modern Canada. Plantagenet also holds cores on Belgian Confederacy and us. So this is what it's all about. Let's see, actually, is it about scaling? It's about scaling mark. They want to acquire scaling mark. If we are very unlucky, Belgian Confederacy will demand something similar. Probably the Nye Trøndelag. We'll see what they end up demanding. I think, actually, what we should do... I've tried to play this scenario a few times. Most of the times it just goes to hell due to trying to stand up toe-to-toe against the enemy. And if you, for example, in the beginning I made the mistake of making regular artillery, which is incredibly slow. As you can see, max speed 2.5 kilometers, and these are 5 kilometers. Regular infantry has 4 kilometers, and so does infantry. So their army held 4 kilometers, ours 2.5 kilometers. You cannot catch up to the enemy, and you cannot defeat them in any battle, and they will just siege you down. At the start, Plantagenet has 10 brigades, which is not too much, though that is without mobilizing, which I'm pretty sure they can do. We can only mobilize 1 additional brigade, and we need to recruit the rest. We start with 7, to be fair. But that is still close to twice the amount of soldiers that we have. And the Belgian Confederacy has 11 brigades. You cannot stand up to both of them. So what we will do right now, right at the start, is simply surrender this territory. It sucks to lose a war, definitely does, but it's better than the option of having to fight that long war, and now we can focus on modernizing our army and making things a little bit better for us in the future. We have the land of opportunity, which is wonderful because Vinland is one of those countries, since it's in North America, that will get quite a bit of migration. In fact, we currently get most of migration in the world, which is pretty good. I wonder why the Plantagenet does not. Parliamentary monarchy, that would probably explain it, and we are a republic, of course. We are, as the name would suggest, descendants of Scandinavian settlers, while the Belgian Confederacy is the descendants of Burgundian settlers, and Plantagenet, one would assume, is descendants of settlers from the dual monarchy, and named after the ruling dynasty of it, which are the Plantagenets. So that is sort of self-explanatory. We will here go for something that will increase our army. For example, muzzle-loader rifles will increase our army quite a bit, making infantry better. We will probably go for muzzle-loader rifles. We will go for a very militaristic start in the beginning here. Except for when it comes to bureaucrats, we need more bureaucrats too, in order to tax the people. And as such, we will raise up taxes. Luckily this is based on the pop demand mod, so money is almost never an issue. Which is a bit of a detriment, but also, in our case, a very good thing. as well as probably increase spending on military, since we don't want to lose any soldiers that we might encounter. Now the Belgian Confederacy decided to declare war. And what do they want, you might wonder? Well, Nye Trøndelag as expected, as predicted. I could be Nostradamus, though I'm not entirely sure. Need to try it a bit more. That is 69 or almost 70,000 people that we would lose. All of them Vinlandic, except for a few that are not. Greek, Bulgarian, some Ashkenazi. It would suck to lose this land, but can we do anything about it? We'll see. This time we won't surrender as quickly. Luckily now the Plantagenets, who still have some claim on our land, luckily not over here, we have a truce with until 1841. So it's 5 years until they can poke their nose into our business. Let's make use of the opportunity to do something then. We will call in some additional men. Here we call in the rest of our armed forces. We will make them meet up here in Lidköping, which is a pretty good place. They are trying to... they will definitely come through here. Luckily most of these have fairly high supply limit. Lucky for us, and also lucky for them. I am also... one thing that I've mentioned this in previous series of this mod, but I do love that they have renamed almost every single province to something that is a bit more fitting to the colonizing nation. Like all of these are Nouvelle-Lorraine and whatnot. Well, these are also unfortunately a bit Frenchy, so there's a lot of Frenchy things here. But over here we have Nye Trøndelag, for example, Nesvollberget, and so forth. It's a nice touch. It's a nice touch. You can't really complain about that. We have a decent-ish leader here. He's a sinner. Not sure how that is completely relevant to his role as a general, but sure. And he's also imaginative, which could be good. Imaginative is a bit good. I'm imagining that morale is due to being a sinner. Not sure if it helps his attack or his defense in any way at all, but at least the morale thing I can see being a sinner could do. Our enemies are able to move Lancaster? We have now our policy towards the natives. We should probably try to integrate them into our social fabric. Or assimilate them. Let's assimilate them. We need more people. And we got attacked by the enemy, which is pretty bad. We won though. That is surprising. Maybe because this is artillery. Where are the new people coming from? Where are the new coming? They're coming from Holmeborg, Kysbele, and Holmeborg. So 2 are from Holmeborg, which is where exactly? Where is it? Is it over here? It's over here. It's on Vinland itself. Which is what we named after, even though our capital is over here in Erikshavn. That's fine. They have 35,000 men. Can we stand up to that? No goddamn clue. Most likely not. It would probably be... Oh. Did they really kill that immediately? Because in such a case, we need to retaliate and do so very, very quickly. This war will probably end in a failure for us, which means that we will just need to recover and come back another day. Since we're losing money at the moment due to the war, perhaps we should increase tariffs and get some more money, just so we don't end up in a complete debt. We're running a fairly major deficit. Come on. If we have 79% tariffs, even then we start losing money. Probably due to our war exhaustion, which is climbing pretty quickly. Now at least we have our new armies. Though with the loss of that unit, that is a bit unfortunate. Perhaps we should remake him. He was wiped out instantly as well, which sucked. He's actually going there. Can't let that be. And do you have their army 33,000 men? That is what we need to defeat, and I think we could give that a decent shot. At least try to defeat their main army. If we fail that, we will give up the war and come back another day. Stronger than ever. That does seem... It does seem the more appropriate move. It's about 40 days when we get artillery until we get that unit done. Can we survive that long? Well, considering that there we go. Now 40 days, so a bit over a month. Sometime in September he will be ready. Divert all the units over here. That is a bit of an annoying, douchey unit, to be absolutely certain. It takes 29th of August. He can probably retreat to Christiansborg or Markby before that. He can and he does. 27th to 28th of August, so he's a day ahead of us. Can we go there before he can move anywhere else? 5th of September, hopefully. Because then we can get rid of him. And every soldier that they lose is one that we don't have to fight later on. Kind of explains itself, doesn't it? But it's still worthwhile. I think we have reached the cap on... Wait, not capitalist. Let's spread it out a little bit. Spread it out a little bit. The problem here is that if you don't surrender one of the wars, it's impossible to win both of the wars at the same time. You might win one, but both of the wars at the same time that is not possible. It is not a possibility. We should probably lower our spending on something else. The war is starting to become a bit expensive for our poor, sweet, beautiful, wonderful, amazing little nation. Leif Torstensson is doing a good job so far. Do we have anyone who's not a sinner? We have this one who has cursed luck and unmanly. Mikael Krog. We cannot trust him. Not at all. He is not to be trusted by really anyone. I do wonder what happened to their main army. Perhaps it is coming from the side here. We are very, very close to running a deficit, but we do have good military leadership now. That should probably help us out a little bit in these battles that come. So that is in total about 12,000 men that they have lost, and I mean 12,000 men. That's 12,000 men. If they had standing together with that other army, that would have been a lot of soldiers to try to defeat. Luckily now we don't have to. Not at all. So perhaps we can reclaim these lands and maybe force the Belgian army or Belgianite army to attack us. They are sending out these 3,000 men parties, and I'm not convinced about that move at all. We have taken back Hulby, which is good. Now just to take back the other ones, where is the Belgian army? Belgian army. Come on. I just wonder why it's called the Belgian Confederacy anyway. This probably will be, since this mod has fairly extensive alt history written into, well, a decision you can do. Perhaps you should just go to the Belgian Confederacy and... Oh, wait, now I see. That is the most wonderful thing that could happen to us. And that is simply due to Plantagenet and them being at war as well. Plantagonian liberation of Bas-Valois. Valois, something like that. So they are fighting against each other. That gives us a chance, a beautiful, beautiful chance. They might be occupying this land. That is fine. We can occupy it back. Though we should be careful of our war exhaustion, which is climbing up really, 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 really quickly. Perhaps we can even demand something of the Belgian Confederacy, which would be wonderful. Their army seems to be alive and well, and seems to be actually doing fairly well against their enemies. The enemies that are not us, and go through Belgian land to reach up here. Seems a decent move. Our people do seem to have enough bureaucrats to stay afloat. Perhaps we should use that on more soldiers, though that usually comes naturally. Do they have any more military technology? No. They have 5 in army tech and 5 over here too. So they don't start with any additional tech. That's good. I know that France, for example, starts with more... Oh no, wait, that's... I was thinking a different part. France doesn't even exist at the start of this game. There we go. Perhaps now we should see here, what do we want if we were to demand something? We could demand Philippa. Philippa includes Capbon. It has a decent population in Philippa itself. We could demand Carolina, which doesn't have that many people in it. But they are a bit more spread out, I suppose. No, we will definitely demand Philippa. We have cores on Philippa itself and the nearby area. So we will try to conquer it, if at all possible. We are right now on... They have... Wait, how did they have more? Not filled. Oh, they have acquired it before. Gotcha. We'll fix that though. They are now a bit more preoccupied with their southern neighbor. So, what they made with this mod is simply turn North America into a pit of snakes where the three nations will fight and bicker over these lands against each other until one has dominated the other. Usually I've seen the Belgian Confederacy dominate, mostly because they have the northeast I mean, of the United States, or contemporary United States, I should probably say. And it is a fairly rich land with a lot of people in it, even in this mod. Philippa and Ville-Louis in Capon. The other part, so when we've defeated the Belgian Confederacy, what we will need to do in this video is simply beat down on Plantagenet, retake Skrælingmark. And after that, that is simply the only strategy, I think, that you can do in this mod if you want to play as Vinland. It will be war, whether you like it or not, unless you're willing to give away all your territory. Because, look, okay, be honest. Would you be willing to give away all of this territory simply to avoid a war? Or multiple wars even? I don't think so. This is by far the most valuable territory that you can have, apart from Vinland, I suppose. Actually, Österland is over here. I guess I'm wrong. Yeah, you can definitely get rid of Storsjön and still be fine. But would you want to? Now that's the question. Instead of going for that province and occupying that, we will definitely head over here and defeat the Belgian army while we have the chance. It will take us a lot of war score to reach that demand though, but it will be worth it. We are losing a lot of men though, running through this wilderness that is Belgium. Everyone knows Belgium is a wilderness. No one can deny that. And maybe have some clergymen in our mainland. There we go. Head over here. Now you're home. Oh, they're attacking us. And we have not recuperated fully. This will be a decisive battle. Hopefully it will go well. No, we have terrible dice rolls. A bit better dice rolls now. Everything is about the dice. We have about equal dice rolls now, and it's still going pretty bad due to the initial losses. And we got decent. We are losing the morale and, well, more organization too. Yeah, that was a pretty pitiful battle. Leif Torstensson, you're not as great as I had hoped you would be. I just wish you could tell them not to make any more admirals. Just auto-create generals, please, but not the other way around. Leif Torstensson is decent. We have no one who is better. No one at all that is better. And we will have to retreat now. In disgrace. In absolute disgrace. Didn't expect them to be as aggressive. We have excellent leadership now. That is good. Perhaps that is what tipped the balance, because they had much better organization than we did. Maybe due to the initial losses that they incurred on us, that we didn't really recuperate from. And now they have almost taken back all of it. In 1 month more, maybe we will be able to push back. 1 more month of recovery. There may be 1 more month in addition to that. We have 25,000 men, they have 21,000 men. If it's ever gonna happen, if we're ever gonna have a good battle, it will be now, while we have the chance. Okay, now we have the numerical superiority. Let's go for a comeback. Good dice rolls in the initial battle. They're losing 3 times as many as we. A bad comeback. But please give us a good There we go. That is the stuff. There we go. That is a comeback and a half. We are recovering. The war is not over, and Belgian Confederacy has actually defeated the Plantagenets and extended their territory. Which is a bad thing for us. Absolutely. We can now recruit more men if we would so desire. More men have become available. I think that migration has taken... we are getting a lot of people from migration. We should encourage as much migration as possible, since we have that ability. Let's see, occupation progress is going along well. We got a nice upgrade now. We still need this to fire off in order to fully make use of it. But it's still decent enough. There we are. Can we get one more month of recovery? There we go. English monarchy. What? Does that mean... Oh. I missed that event. English monarchy. There we go. Now we have a better numerical superiority than we had in the beginning of the last battle. But it still could swing. Not in this case. There we are. Let's see. Army supply consumption increases discipline of pretty much everyone. Army professionalism. Let's go for army professionalism. If only we had the ability to not spend so much time and money on these users upgrade. There we go. The Belgian army is completely defeated. This should be enough to push them over the edge. Yes, and we can acquire Philippa. Now is the question, do we want to take more? Do we want to get, for example, Carolina as well? Carolina's only 19 war score. We could take almost all of this and then have Flanders I don't know French. It's just the superior Flanders, I guess, or upper Flanders. This is also a nice territory. But I think getting all of Scandadario would be a nice boon for Vinland. Definitely a nice boon. And after that we have only 3 years to prepare for a war against Plantagenia, which unfortunately have been a bit weakened due to recent events. We will claim Carolina in our name. It will extend the war, to be sure, but with no Belgian army around, and the only thing they can do is get more from scratch. And they have 97% war exhaustion from their back-to-back war. I think we're in a good spot. I think we are definitely in a good spot where we can demand these and actually push through with those demands. We will once again do an adventurous run through all of Belgium, losing quite a lot of men, unfortunately, from attrition, mostly from entering different provinces. It's not too much attrition, but it still hurts. Every Scandinavian life, I mean every Vinlandic life is precious. And there we go. We took back them, and now we can take the last province here and then move up to the Carolinian provinces, which unfortunately, or fortunately or unfortunately, has moved a bit from where they are historically. Now they're here. Before they were like somewhere here. No, that's the Georgia, right? And then Carolinian. I mean, I'm bad at US geography sometimes. I know that this is Virginia, then we have North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, something like that. Something along those lines. It's difficult here. Wait, Right, let me do this another thing. Isn't this Virginia? Then we have North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia, and Florida. Something like that. Now I'm done. I'm not gonna do another attempt. Rochefort and Terre. Go for it. Go for it. They're 100%, they will give up soon. They will not accept this offer, but they will accept it soon enough when we have taken over these territories. Leif Torstensson will have a statue. He will have a statue in, I suppose, Erikshavn, or maybe also in Holmeborg, which is a lot of people. Holy shit. I guess that's where they landed first, so that's why it has so much prominence. We got an amazing offer. an amazing offer, and we have taken it. We have a lot more land, we have a lot more population. We went down to good military leadership, but we pushed over the 5 million population limit, or population cap. And we can soon recruit a new full army. Having 2 full armies of soldiers in the coming war against the Plantagenets will be quite strong, quite strong. And let's see here. Increase education a little bit and increase administration a little bit more, so we can get to 100% country administrative efficiency, which is always a good thing to have. Let's see. Vinlandic regulars. Let's call in those that we can. And then we have Septiman infantry. Let's call in those, and also a bit more Iroquois mobile artillery. And as soon as we can get in more men, we will, for a complete third army. Oh, now we got excellent military leadership again. I'm not sure what dominates that statistic. Not sure at all. Don't see it here, for example. I just would like to know what makes, like what allows that. Vinland is fairly interesting to play as well. Unfortunately, the thing with Finland is that the beginning is the most interesting part. That's why it will only be really this one video of it. Because in the beginning you have all these wars, you have all this grappling for power of North America. Who will be the strongest one? Will it be Plantagenet, Belgian Confederacy, or will Vinland take over and like become the greatest power that North America has seen and eventually swallow the other ones? Maybe they will. Maybe. But when you've decided that Vinland was the victor of all these wars, then you don't really have that much to do. You enter sort of a phase where you're really playing USA, but without having anything in the north to take over. You will eventually get events and decisions to claim more land, for example, all of this, and then have claims on Rönst here, which I'm not really sure where it comes from. Maybe it's some people who left Vinland. Maybe it's like our Utah. Who knows? Maybe there's actually a history of Vinland here that we can go through and see what happened to Rönst. Was the last European colony to be founded in the New World, and the low Scandinavian population made it also the least populated, less populated of the continent. Let's see, something about Rönst. Anything about Rönst? No, I don't think there's anything about Rönst there. Or maybe I'm just not seeing it. Oh well, this doesn't really matter that much. So there's the history of Vinland. Most of it you could, if you would like to read it, pause, or better yet, just download the mod and play it for yourself, and you'll find it. Let's see, Vinlandic regulars, actually Vinlandic infantry. Which one is the best one of these again? Oh, regulars by far. We'll get that, and so we can have some more men and be done with it. But yeah, as I mentioned, when you really just become United States after a while, and that might be fun. It's more like a United States with an initial challenge, because United States in Victoria 2 without any mods is not really a challenge. Even in, for example, HPM, it's not really a challenge. It's a good nation if you just want to have fun, you want to play as America and go the whole Manifest Destiny, but it's never really challenging at any point. This is a bit challenging in the beginning, but after the beginning, it stops being challenging. Nothing can really touch you after a while. And I guess that makes sense. But all of the challenge comes from Plantagenet and Belgian Confederacy teaming up on you, like they did for us. Well, you can turn it around, as we showed. You can turn it around with some decent plays. I mean, top level plays. Definitely top level. Council of Granada. Partial success. With the fate of oh god. Oh, that is interesting. That did not happen in the current playthrough as Burgundy. Granada became free. United Provinces of Salvador became a thing. Election fraud. We have to do something, sure. Mexico became a thing, and Jalisco, which is also Mexico, became another thing. Lusitania. That is interesting. Kind of wish that had happened in Burgundy, though. At least there we have that that other nation. What's it called? Aslan. Yeah, Aslan. And over here you can also do. I suppose you could do the same with Bjornia, for example, the English colony. Very few people in it, but you could potentially go to war with your neighbors and have fun there. Maybe they should add more cores and stuff like that to End of an Era, Sublime Port, and Conservatives declare victory, which is very unsurprising for this part of the game. Maybe they should do that for more for more areas. I mean, the thing they have here with all the cores overlapping, causing a lot of initial war. Maybe they could do the same, for example, Qingqiu. They can then try to go for Gran Colombia and Kitakaigan and Röns, for that matter. Or is it Rons or is it Röns? These ones are Röns, and this is Rons. I just don't know. It's just, why is it spelled with the Danish here, but not here? And that must mean it has something to do with Scandinavians. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Also, does it matter? No, it does not. What do you need, my little friend? You need one more mobile artillery. Sure, let's go for that. Let's go for that, and then we're ready. We're only a little bit more than... Actually, we're only a few months away. So we should probably be a bit ready now for a war. We have Paul Rosenkrantz taking care of the first army, and the army of Vinland is Leif Torstensson, who has done amazing work, and as I mentioned before, is getting his own statue. Beautiful, beautiful statue. So when will you be ready? Whenever you get artillery. When will you get artillery though? Well, that's a question that cannot be answered at the moment. We are swimming in money, so we can lower the tariffs and increase, for example, spending. Got a good leader as well, or first minister. It would be nice if this army was ready for the war when it starts. So if you wouldn't mind just being a bit quicker, that would be most appreciated. Most appreciated. It's not going to be ready for the war. We need more artillery for it. Come on, don't be like this. Why am I not getting any artillery all of a sudden? Is there many wars in the world? Well, okay, I guess this could explain why there's a lack of artillery being available. The Bohemian-Scandinavian Brothers War, with Bohemia trying to acquire Pommern. Very naughty of them. We'll see how that goes. Maybe Bohemia can make a smash in the world, and holy crap, they're losing over here. So bye Scandinavia, it was nice knowing you. At least now we got artillery needed to get going. We're only 14th place, we are not a great power at all. Probably never been, but will be in the future. When this army is arrived and ready, we can declare war on Plantagenet. Plantagenet, which is a bit of a douche place. No one really likes them. Actually, let's just declare war now. They have 18 brigades, so we will be playing a bit on the defense at the moment and try to mark them down and kill them as soon as possible. They have turned that into a slave state already. We don't use slaves, do we? Now I'm getting a bit scared. Do we have slaves? No, we outlaw slavery, so they took it over, immediately enslaved people, and turned it into a slave state. That is awful. That is awful. Let's see, they are going for Loch Ness, which is an interesting name. To be fair, the Scandinavians also have Scotland, so maybe that's where it comes from. Is there a lot of Scottish people living here? Actually, not. Afro-Germanic. That's an interesting mixture. That makes a lot of sense. Though, I mean, for example, Afro-Canadians would most likely be Afro-Germanic as well. So, oh well, doesn't matter. We won a big victory in the beginning of the war, kicking them out of here. They are also arriving the 25th year. Maybe we can go after them and make sure that army will not recover, which would give us an initial lead. Adam Mikkelsen has taken over. Perhaps he is not the best for it. This is a good leader, but he lacks anything in attack and defense. I would honestly go for this fella, mostly because of his attack and defense. Morale sure is a bit bad, but overall he's a decent leader. We did manage to knock that army completely out, and that is beautiful. This army over here is a fairly varied army. It is also very strong. We should probably call for backup and have complete numerical superiority. That's my main doctrine when it comes to Victoria 2, is trying to go for local numerical superiority. Much like my dear old friend Mr. Napoleon. At least I think he used that a lot. It's mostly used when you're facing off against an enemy that has more men than you. We have more men than them, but it's the similar kind of principle. Try to knock them out through superior numbers on a local point, like here. There, victory. Let's head after them. Maybe not with both, but sure, let's go with both. I just want it to be decisive. We arrived a few days before, and then we had a fairly big battle, resulting in the loss of unfortunately many Vinlandic men. But we did manage to wipe out their entire army, and that should, yeah, definitely put a nail in their coffin. This is essentially, the men they have here is essentially it. Well, it's half their army. But that, I mean, we started off with a larger army this time than them, which is good. They almost had twice as many at the start of the first war. Now we almost had twice as many as them at the start of the second war. It's only fair. It's only fair. You have to put it in context. And now we can dominate them. And at this point, as you might imagine, the war and the story of Vinland is sort of self-explanatory. The futurist holds more wars against the Belgian Confederacy, against Plantagenet for more power. Most of the people will be flocking to the Vinland and these other places. So that's fairly evenly distributed. We have passed the Belgian Confederacy in population. We have passed Plantagenet in population. So everything is just nice and beautiful. And in this case we can continue forth. Take over more land. And yeah, that, as I said, the story is sort of explanatory at this point. We can take Pies de Illinois at this point. Why not? Demand that. That's the first infamy we used all game. And just counter every time they send in any soldiers, remove them from the map. Remove them, and that should be it. Now it's just a case of sieging them down and then eventually winning. I'm surprised we haven't gotten more war score from those fairly major battles that we won by far. I think we can even speed up the time and just pause whenever needed. So Dovres, where are you going now? They attacked us! Holy crap, that is ambitious. Very ambitious and stupid. They are sending in all their men. This is typical AI behavior. Send in all your men, don't wait for any kind of army to form, just send them in one by one by one. Making it much easier to defeat them. Have they never played StarCraft 2 or any RTS? Don't they know that they're supposed to not send them in just one by one? Apparently not. When have we reached the point of surrender from their side? Probably fairly soon. Maybe we should go down all the way to New Orleans or Nouvelle-Orléans in Nouvelle-France or Francia, Francais, and then taking them down. We're focused entirely on army technology in this video, in this scenario, simply out of the interest of being better militarily. Which obviously means we have fallen back when it comes to economy. But once again, this is in Divergences of Darkness, which is based on Pop the Man mod, meaning that the economy is pretty trivial. It's pretty trivial at the best of times. Now they're willing to surrender, and we will take that surrender and keep everything we've gained and support the business. And now I think we can all agree that Vinland is stronger than ever. We have defeated all of our neighboring enemies, despite having a fairly disadvantageous position in the start. So the moral of the story is simply, don't be afraid to lose a war or give up in a war in order to come back stronger next time. It's the same principle of live to fight another day, that kind of principle. So yeah, this has been the story of how Iceland, to how Vinland survived, the survival of Vinland in the Divergences of Darkness mod of Victoria 2. A simple one-off video showing off one scenario and one not really difficult, but somewhat semi-difficult start. Unpredictable, at least, start. So if you would like me to do something similar to this in the future, let me know. And if you have any suggestions of your own, of a similar length, sort of mini playthroughs, not really, but one-off videos in Victoria 2 in any mod at all, then let me know. Until next time, and until next video, have a good one, and I'll see you around.